What's happening, bro? Chachis. Today we're at MLK in Long Beach and we're gonna be learning how to 360 on anything, really. My name is Alfredo Mancuso and this is How to Tuesday. The prerequisites for this trick are a bunny hop and a 180. If you can start forming the 180 and you get around, maybe you can get to like the 190, almost 200 degrees, you're kind of ready for the 360 because you're already starting to look over your shoulder. Where do I recommend to learn this trick initially is on the flat ground. Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive because you probably want airtime like I just did, but no, you really want to learn it almost stationary because that'll teach you how to do the proper technique from the very beginning. Prime example, we have a flat deck here, and I'm going to pick this little line that's on the cement. The first few tries, you just want to form a little over-rotated 180. So we're going to follow this first line, and then we're going to go on the second line and start the 180. So you go here, 180. Now, don't worry about the fakie. We're not learning the fakie today, we're just learning the 360. So you want to start getting the formation of the 180 kind of lofty. And what that means is that you're going to bunny hop a little higher and make it more dramatic. So I'm left foot forward, and I spin to the right. You can be left foot forward and spin to the left if you want, or right foot forward and spin to the right, or right foot forward and spin to the left. It doesn't really matter. What matters is your head and shoulders, really. Approach that first line that you picked on the ground. If you don't really have a line or anything like that, it doesn't really matter. You can just look at cracks or a marking on the ground, but it'll help you start in a straight line because you don't want to carve too much because that'll actually hurt you in the long run. So follow this straight line, and when we get to that perpendicular line, that's where we're going to form the 180. 180. So what you're doing is, as you're doing that 180, you're looking over, since I'm left foot forward, I'm looking over my right shoulder and starting the spin. And then once I'm crossing the 180 mark, I'm gonna start trying to look over my shoulder further. So now we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna try and form a 270. When you're trying to form a 270, you wanna go a little faster than the 180. So maybe a crank and a half. If you're going pretty slow, you're not really gonna topple over. So we already did the 180, now we're starting to form a 270. You're gonna wanna keep doing that. You don't wanna increase the speed too much, you just wanna form it. And you're gonna under-rotate almost intentionally or on accident, depending on like where you're at in your learning curve. And you're not really too afraid to topple over because you're not going very fast. So again, just a little cranker. I have brakes, so it helps when I stop. You're probably brakeless, so it doesn't really matter. But if you start forming the 270, which is 390s, so we start here, we got 90, 180, 270. So that's 390s, right? So you're basically 3/4 of the way to the 360. So all you really need is that little tiny 45 degrees to 90 degrees. You don't really need the full 360 to land it. You can basically land here, just turn your tire a little bit, and you'll actually roll away. And that's actually the hardest part for some people, just getting from the 270 to 360, but it's all practice and repetition. And get lofty with it. Oh, and that time I even stayed on the bike. Again, we're just forming the trick. You're not really trying to land it quite yet. But once you're getting comfortable with the concept of spinning past that 180, so you're getting into the 270 mode, you're gonna notice that sometimes your back end will drag and you'll hit the back tire before you can even come down. So the trick to prevent that is to tuck it up higher. And you do that with your legs. I like to call it the scoop. So essentially, my right foot, my back foot, is gonna kind of cup the pedal and bring the bike into my butt. Pause. And what that'll do is it'll make you higher off the ground and it'll allow you to suck up and spin further. So we'll see if that works. So we're 45 degrees away from a 360. But as you noticed, the bike is now more level and it's allowing me to spin further. So we're landing here for that reason. At this point, you could basically start rolling away. So we're gonna do another one right now. And I'm gonna intentionally under-rotate to make it land in the 290, 300 range. And then we're just gonna turn the tire and roll out. Okay, I might have spun a little too much there. Let me try it again. Not enough there. It's hard not to really land a trick once you know how to do it. Okay, so again, I'm intentionally under-rotating, but you can see that I'm popped up pretty high and keeping the bike tucked. I'm not letting it drag like this. Let me show you what that looks like. So what happens is your tire will touch and it'll start forming the 360. Well, that's not what you want to do. That's a 360 tire tap. We're really trying to do the full 360, land both tires at the same time. So again, you fight that by sucking up the back end. You don't want to do it too much to where your front end is down. You want to be flat. And now we're going to land a 360. So the last few steps are getting from that 270 to 360. What it's going to require is a little bit more speed, a little bit more pop, and just make sure you consistently are looking over that shoulder. If you're left foot forward, you're going to be looking to the right over your right shoulder. If you're right foot forward, you're going to be looking left over your left shoulder. If you're goofy footed, you're going to have to figure that one out on your own. No, I'm just kidding. It's just basically the reverse. Your feet don't matter too much. I really can't do flat ground 360 super proper, so I'm not even going to bother trying to show you guys that, but you can do it as well. The reason I said that you want to learn the Bunnyhop 360 before you take it into a skate park or a dirt jump is because you want to be very comfortable with spinning without using speed or any other ramps or drops or setup. Because if you can accomplish that on flat ground, it's actually a lot easier out of a transition or into it. Now, if you do it backwards, you're going pretty fast, you're going to hurt yourself. So learn it on flat ground first. Once you have it, you can just do it into anything. So again, I hope this tutorial really helped you. My name is Alfredo Mancuso, and this has been How to 360 with your boy. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And there's a bush. Oh, God damn it. Action. Helicopters, an ongoing theme in all my videos. Damn you, ghetto bird! Once you've mastered the 360 on flat ground, taking it to ramps is actually a lot easier than going vice versa. When people learn it at a skate park and they have all this hang time, they spin pretty slow. But when you learn it on flat ground, you have the fundamentals to then take it to the ramps a lot easier. Trust me, I would know. A lot of my friends learned it at the skate park and they could never do it on street. The very editor himself here, I don't think it threw a 360 on flat ground.
Hell no.
So again, if you learn it on the flat ground, you can then take it into the ramps. Like this very wedge here. Just crank at it and just spin like there's no tomorrow.